If you don't allow yourself to be vulnerable, you forfeit your greatness. Quote by Eddie Pinero in a morning motivational video that I listened to yesterday. My name is Amber, and I can create reality. And I've been through some dark times. I've been through addiction and mental illnesses and homelessness and suicide. And today I want to talk about one of the most valuable lessons I have learned, which has to do with vulnerability. So think about that. If you don't allow yourself to be vulnerable, you forfeit your greatness. So what is vulnerability? And for that matter, what is greatness? For me, vulnerability, I used to see it as a weakness. I used to see somebody crying their eyes out and wearing their heart on their sleeve and just dumping all their emotions all over the place all the time. I'm just like, why? That doesn't look like fun. I don't want everybody to see my mess. But I was just covering myself up. I was just shoving all my emotions down. And when I look back on it with awareness, with curiosity, the reason that I judged vulnerability is because I didn't know how to do it myself. I had so many people tell me that I had no feelings. And I'm like, I can tell you my feelings all over the place, but I couldn't connect with them. I didn't want other people to see my emotions because I didn't want people to take advantage of them and use them to hurt me. And that was hard because I felt really hard, really deep. And it was the most crushing thing for people that I love to be like, do you even feel anything? And it's just like, nobody sees me. Nobody sees me because I don't know how to express emotion. So what did I do? I was like, oh, that's weak. That's dumb. Why are you being so sensitive? Because that was me. I was weak. I was labeling my emotions as dumb. And I was very sensitive. Very sensitive. I would say too sensitive, but I don't say that anymore because I think my sensitivity is a gift. I think feeling too much and I think it's a gift today. Now that I know how to manage it, now that I see it as a strength, because vulnerability, it's expressing emotion. And what is emotion? Energy in motion. And what are we made of, people? Energy and motion, vibration, frequency. So when I haven't expressed my emotions and shoved them all down and then eventually didn't even know where they were, I was pretty heavy, because when you take energy and you ball it up and you shove it in something, like say you put a bunch of sand in a box and you keep filling the box, guess what? It gets heavier and heavier and heavier. And eventually it's going to sink. And that's what happened to me. I sank because I didn't poke some holes in the bottom of my box and just let the sand roll out and go back into the ocean. No, I held all that in. I added some water. I made some mud. I shoved it over here and over here and over here. And then I ran out of boxes. And life got really hard. I couldn't even see out. It was like I was encased in stone. Nobody could see me. Nobody could feel me. I couldn't even feel me. And I think that was the worst part of it. Oh, I got chills. Because until I could stop trying to be something and someone that I wasn't and allow what I was feeling to get out of me, life was hard. My reality sucked. I didn't even know what my dreams were. I couldn't remember them. They were down there all up in the sand and the mud. So at first I had to start really simple, really small. I had to admit my emotions to myself. Now this can suck, if I'm being honest, because once I started to admit how I was feeling about anything, how do I feel about my relationship? How do I view myself? How do I view how I'm being a parent, a friend, an employee, a daughter? I had to ask myself these questions to get to know myself, to even figure out what I was feeling because I had no idea. And slowly, I found answers to the questions. The more I asked them, the more situations would come up in my present, and I'd be like, ugh, this is like bothering me. Let me shove it down. Wait, never mind. Why am I feeling this? Why am I feeling this? You don't have to go digging into your past to find out who you are. You don't have to go digging into every trauma and every childhood circumstance to be like, how do I heal myself? You don't have to do that. What is coming up in today? What are you feeling today about any situation? Work, at home, with your kids, with your partner, with anybody. How do you feel about it? Because each of those cues, each of those questions, that's how you find out what actually needs to be dug into. And if it's coming up in today and it's coming up in multiple places, chances are there's a root to that problem. You got to dig down up into the mud and just keep asking yourself questions. And if you learn to be vulnerable with yourself, if you learn to accept your feelings and just look at them with curiosity, how would you, if your best friend, your favorite person in the world came to you and just said, hey, I'm feeling really insecure with my partner and I don't know why. I'm feeling like a failure at work and I don't know why. And so what would you ask them? So, well, if you're feeling like a failure with your partner, what made you feel like that? What situation came up? Or if you're feeling insecure, with your partner, what brought that up? What was the situation? Well, how did that make you feel? Did it remind you of anything? Did you feel anything in your body? Was it maybe in your stomach? Did you get like a headache? Our body will tell us different things. And then you can Google, like, what's it mean that my stomach is hurting when I get insecure? Well, that's where our self-empowerment lives. That's where it's like the sun of our body. And it's where our confidence lives. So if you have digestion issues, that might be part of it. Or if you're feeling like a failure at work, what brought that on? Was it not getting something done or not getting something done to your boss's preferences? Did that remind you of something? Or if it doesn't, ask, what does that remind me of in my past? Have I ever felt this in my past? And you can keep digging down and digging down and digging down. Get to the bottom of that mud. So when you learn to be vulnerable with yourself, honest with yourself, comfortable in your emotions with yourself, then it starts to get a little easier to do it with other people. And what this does is it moves things through you. It helped me learn how to trust myself first. It helped me to asking myself what I would do if my loved one, like my favorite person in the world, came to me. I just asked myself the same thing. I didn't sit here and judge my best friend and be like, well, why are you feeling insecure? That's stupid. Maybe you should be insecure. Well, maybe you screwed up at work and that's why you feel like a failure. That's how I used to talk to myself. But would I talk to my best friend that way? No. I would be kind. I would be compassionate. I would want them to be vulnerable with me. I would hold space for them. I would be there for them. So why can't we do that for ourselves? I don't subscribe to this, oh, we are our own worst enemies. We can be. You can choose that all day long. I did it for 40 years. It didn't really do me any favors. On the contrary, it made my life suck. So, somebody said, self-love is loving yourself like the person you love the most. What a concept, right? So I had to really focus my attention on asking myself questions like my loved one would. And this vulnerability helped me express emotion to myself, get more honest with myself. And then once I talked to other people about it, which took a while, okay? I had social anxiety for a long time. But eventually I started talking to other people. And some people, it didn't really land well. They didn't take it well, or they didn't listen. And I ended up having to create boundaries from those people. That was hard. It was really hard. But it made space for people to come into my life that now I can talk to. I can be so vulnerable with. I have one friend that I sent her a 30-minute audio. Yes, a 30-minute just dump of my true feelings, the whole story of it. And she listened and gave me feedback and encouraged me and asked me questions that my best friend would. That made me think about it. And it made me feel so much better because I'm taking out that mud. I'm pulling out that sand. I'm making bigger and bigger holes at the bottom of my box, my body, for it to just sink out and go through me. And then I can be lighter. Do you know how much better I felt after recording that audio? 30 minutes, you guys. That's a long time. 11:11 on the timer just now. That's a long time. And I almost didn't send it because I was like, oh, I don't want to put anybody out. I don't want her to have to listen to this. I know she's busy. But you know what? I felt better after recording it. And I think she would have been mad at me had I not sent it. She really wanted to know what was going on. Those are the friends I have today. Because I have gotten real with myself. And therefore, I have people in my life I can get real with. And if it weren't for these very special people in my life that I have the honor of being vulnerable with, I wouldn't be able to keep being vulnerable with myself. What we take in and think and do with ourselves, it reflects back out to us. So if you don't have people that are there for you in a way that you don't have anybody, say you don't have anybody that you feel safe with just to be yourself. I mean, like in all your mess and all your glory, somebody who celebrates you and somebody who will give you a shoulder to cry on at 3 a.m. If you don't have one of those people, I'm here to tell you it's okay. It's okay. Because I have a solution for you. We teach people how to love us based on how we love ourselves. That was another eye-opener into vulnerability and being real and being our true selves. Well, if your true self right now hates yourself and you treat yourself like a doormat or allow yourself to be treated like a doormat, guess what you're going to have in your life? Plenty of people who are like, oh, she's a doormat. But you're not. You're not a doormat. You are rare and unique, and you came to this earth with a soul tribe. You came, or if you don't believe in the soul thing, that's fine. You came to earth with people that are just waiting to be into your experience. But if you don't get real with yourself, get vulnerable with your emotions, and get honest, just speak your truth to yourself and then speak it to others. And then you'll be able to speak it all the time. And you're going to draw in, you're going to magnetize. You can't not those people who are going to be that safe haven for you because you're already a safe haven for yourself. So if how we treat ourselves teaches others how to love us, then how do you want your best friend, your safe haven, to treat you? Well, you spend time with them, right? You love them. You have compassion for them. So what are some things that you love to do? What brings you joy? What makes you happy? What makes your heart sing? Is there a book, a podcast, a video, some poems, the ocean, the trees, the park? Or if you don't have anything that comes to mind, because this actually took me a couple of weeks when I was first told how to do this. Think back to when you were a child, a teenager, whatever, when you were younger. What lit you up? What did you love to do that just made you giggle? Go do it. Don't say, oh, I'm too old. No, you're not. We're never too old. Never too old. You know, and talk to yourself like your best friend. Ask yourself questions. How are you doing today? That's a good one. I mean, that's really simple. In the morning, how are we doing today? I'm doing pretty good. or I'm not doing good. What can I do to feel better? That's what you'd ask your friend. Is there anything I can do to support you? Is there anything I can do for you to make you feel better? You know, or if you're having a really good day, oh man, how do I keep this up? Like if your friend's having a really good day, you're like, rock on. What are we going to go do today? And do that. It seems simple, but it's not necessarily simple, but it takes practice and it is very doable. It is very doable. But just remember, expressing emotion, it's not weakness. It's strength. It's a superpower. And it's so interesting. So I'm not a big fan of getting out of bed in the morning just yet in my life. I know one day I'm going to just wake up and I'll be like, let's go. But I have ADHD and I'm not making that an excuse. However, I have had to find different practices that will help me get out of bed with a little more energy at a good time. So Eddie Pinero has like a whole bunch of morning motivational videos, and he has like anywhere from 30 minutes to like 3 hours, and they're in like little 5-7 minute segments, and they're really thoughtful. Like his stuff really makes me think. It engages my mind in a subtle way, and then it always just kind of finishes in like this empowering way. I love his stuff. So that's what I do. I have the video already set in the morning, and all I got to do is just hit play, and 5-6 minutes I listen, and it just motivates me. It's really motivational, and it's been like the only thing that has consistently gotten my butt out of bed most of the time when I want to get out of bed. So, and they've been so aligned with where I'm at right now. And this one was amazingly aligned because of vulnerability. I'm getting ready. I am preparing a series of videos right now that I'm hoping I am making the intention to release at the end of September. And they are incredibly vulnerable. They are why I got into energy healing and learned more about what the body is like on the quantum level. They talk about some past life regressions that healed not only me and brought my life full circle, but they have healed an ancestral and generational line. And I talk about a violent sexual assault and how the pain of that experience for not just me, but for everybody involved, my soul family, it shattered us. That lifetime shattered us in ways that were beyond. And I have been given the honor and privilege to heal it, to change the generational line, to get rid of all that mud in a lot of different lives. And then it ends like with this beautiful full circle moment with my childhood in this life, and a beautiful love story about me and my wife in that time. And it is just really beautiful. But it's going to be tough to record. It's going to be tough to release and put out there. And I was telling my wife about, I did a regression meditation and I got more information about our love story. And she just looked at me like, okay. I was like, I know you think I'm cray-cray. I know she doesn't believe in it. And I also know I need to be ready that there are going to be some people out there who don't get it. But those aren't my viewers. That's not why I'm releasing it. I'm releasing it to let go of these emotions, to be vulnerable and express my truth. And the other side of that is I had to be guided. Dolores Cannon actually guided me to past life meditations and how to heal not only this life, but many lives behind me. And had she not pointed me in that direction, like I'm hoping this series of videos helps other people be pointed in that direction to heal like what they feel is blocked in their life, I would never be here. I wouldn't be doing these videos. So this series of videos is for that one person who just needs that knowledge. And I'm excited. I'm excited for that, and I'm trying to keep that in mind. But it's going to be emotional. It's going to be vulnerable. And yeah, I'm opening myself up really, really, really wide. That sounded a little dirty. Sorry. A little sexual there, not dirty. So, anyhow, vulnerability is a superpower. Being yourself, being exactly who you are, where you're at right now, that's perfect. There is a purpose for exactly where you're at. And there's a big purpose down the line for why everything is happening and unfolding the way it is now. So be honest with yourself. Treat yourself like your best friend. Ask yourself what your emotions are. Ask yourself how you're feeling, how you're doing, what makes you happy, what makes you sad. And see what's coming up right now. And just look at it. That's all you got to do is look at it. Poke some holes in the bottom of your box and just let it trickle out and see what you find. It's not as bad as you think. Being vulnerable, I love wearing my heart on my sleeve now. I love letting people see who I really am. All of me. The good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, the rare, the unique. I'm sorry, the awesomeness. Some days I'm freaking awesome. Some days I'm not. But that's all of me. And it's okay. It's okay today. So I wanted to leave you with another Eddie Pinero quote. Because, man, he had some magical stuff. I will put one of his videos, maybe a couple of his videos, in the description. Please check them out. If you have trouble getting out of bed or getting motivated, please. Like, they are so subtly motivational and empowering. Eddie Pinero reminded me, if you don't risk failure, you have no shot at being the one who makes a statement. So maybe you want to make a statement, maybe you don't. But your life, that's a statement. Do you want it to be something that you're proud of? Then you have to be who you are. You have to feel what you do and be okay with it. Accept it. It's okay. All of it is okay. And if you have trouble accepting yourself, I just ask you this. I'm sure you can come up with 3 things you don't like about yourself. But can you try to come up with 3 things that you do like about yourself? Just balance the scales a little bit. Remind yourself of what's true. You're not all bad. Nobody is. You have great things about you. I know you do. Because you know what? We attract what we are. And I have a lot of great things about myself. And I've made a lot of mistakes. Don't get me wrong. And I have plenty of stuff that I'm not super proud of. But you know what? It's all me. I have quirks. I have little tics or whatever. I have certain things that just bug the crap out of me. So what? That's who I am, and that's my experience, and I'm sticking to it. So I hope you got something out of this video. I would love for you to subscribe or follow me and like this video if you like it and you want to see more content like this. I am all about learning different ways, different perspectives, different mindsets to help me move through life just a little bit easier, a little bit happier. And that's what I want to share with you. So I hope you have a great week. I hope you have a great day, a great weekend when it arrives. Don't forget to remind yourself what you like about yourself and treat yourself like the person you love the most. Take care. I'll see you next time.